I just recorded a 10-minute video and it fucking disappeared. What the fuck? So anyway, I wanted this video to be about how to make money online, at least my experience of how I started making thousands of dollars online. Now, I don't want to oversell myself and say I'm like this top dog and I'm ultra successful because I'm not. I'm still like very early in the journey. But I know for a lot of people, just being able to make 4K US a month would be life changing. Like being able to work remotely, travel the world, like a lot of people would love that. So I just want to share my experience. So, table of contents here. What is high ticket closing? How I got into it, and what some strategies to succeed are, at least to get up to the point that I got up to. Okay. So what is high ticket closing? High ticket closing is, okay, so these days you've got like all sorts of influencers, you've got online businesses, you've got like online consultants, digital marketing, and closing is just sales, okay? It's like jumping on a sales call and getting someone on with your services and collecting a commission for that, okay? So like these days you've got all kinds of online coaches, like lots of fitness coaches, weight loss coaches, relationship coaches, dating coaches, meditation coaches, inner work coaches. You've got career coaches. You've got how to make money online, how to start a business, how to drop ship mentors. You've got like all these types of businesses, and obviously you've also got the B2B packages, which are like much higher. So the first type is B2C, which is business to consumer, which is probably usually about 0 to 10,000, like 1,000 to 10,000 or 1,000 to 8,000 for most of the packages. And then there's business to business, which obviously goes up in the hundreds of thousands, or, like sky's the limit. But, so yeah, with all these online businesses, everything's emerging. Let's say that I'm interested in losing weight, and, I get in, like I follow an influencer or something and I like what they're posting. I see that they're transforming people's lives, and I book in a call with them to speak with them, and now they don't have time to speak with me because they're fucking busy. They're like running a whole business here, so they have a closer. I speak to a guy who's like an enrollment coach or senior advisor. So I speak to this person. I tell them all my problems. I find out how they can help me, and then maybe I buy from them, maybe I don't. Okay. So, I mean, obviously there has to be trust there has to be confidence there. But I'm paying for a service, right? I'm paying to get help. I'm paying to learn something and end up and get a result, get a transformation, right? And the closer, the person that sells me, if they sell me successfully, like if they take my money, then they get a commission, 10%, 20%, whatever. It depends on the position, the company, and so on. But that's what high ticket closing is. Okay, it's taking sales calls for online businesses. Now, how I got into it, not sure that's so relevant. How I got into it, I went through like a sales mentorship some years back. It wasn't great. Ended up working with some business owner who's doing like software career coaching. Took like 10 sales calls from him. It was like 5 a month, and I closed 2 deals. So I collected I got like $500 in commission from that or so. Anyway, I was still in my engineering role, but I really wanted to get into sales, to learn business skills, to learn communication skills. That was always something I had a heart on for. And really just like I felt like it was going to give me more freedom in terms of my life in the long term. So yeah, I've got into sales. So I quit even though I had a remote online job before, like technically, like with my software stuff, like I could have just worked from anywhere in the world. So I voluntarily decided to start from scratch, from zero, and figure things out in a new line of work. And that has come with a lot of ups and downs. Okay, so I've not been like, I've never really been sales oriented. I guess like kind of like I used to flip items on something like eBay. So I made tens of thousands as a teenager back then, just flipping items, electronics. iPods, iPhones. And then I guess I did a lot of cold approach, like setting up dates and stuff. But I mean, I was never really like business minded. Um, and yeah, my communication skills were like fucking terrible growing up. Like I was at the very bottom. um, and so yeah, I wanted to get into this. I got into it, and I had a lot of ups and downs. Okay, so working with, I think the biggest problem was just selling myself short consistently. Okay, so jumping into things I know I shouldn't have jumped into, fear of like holding back from rejection, even though I'd gone through tons and tons of rejection, just that kind of whole fucking not wanting to get rejected. Like, so I would like self-sabotage myself. I wouldn't like apply to the right opportunities. I wouldn't put myself out there. Even though I'd gone through all that with dating experience, like I still had all this like fucking trauma or whatever, let's call it, from like fear of rejection. So I wouldn't put myself out there. I'd take on opportunities I know I shouldn't have been taking on. I had unrealistic time. I had like accelerated timelines. Like I'm going to get to 10,000 within 3 months. Instead of focusing on taking the right actions, I took all the like lots of the wrong actions. I didn't know who to connect with. I didn't know how to connect with them. I didn't know how to engage with them. I didn't know how to put myself in the right opportunities. I was, I struggled with some health issues last year. So I wasn't able to push myself and work as hard as I would have liked. So yeah, I had all these unknowns. And yeah, I guess like self-imposed limitations as well to an extent, okay? So it is important for you to connect with the right people. So connect with people who are already doing this. Find out what they're doing. Try to ask them questions. Obviously, like, you don't want to be taking too much, but inevitably, like when you start out in anything, you're going to be taking more than you give. But I trying to give back as much as you can. Okay, trying to add to the community. So adding the right people, like I spent a lot of time on Facebook. I added the right people. I started in commenting, messaging some people, dropping my opinion, started posting regularly, like 10 to 15 times a month. So like every second day or every day in some periods. Even when it wasn't like fucking perfect stuff. It was, even when it was just like more generic self-development stuff or life experience stuff. But yeah, I had some contact from online, and he was working with a business owner. He was doing like sales management for him. Some guy I knew from various places from before. And he got me to do some like kind of semi-sales calls, not where I'm collecting cash, but I'm just doing like an intro. So I was making about 1,300 a month on that. And then I was just like, I just wasn't able to work any extra to get ahead and to level up. So I was a little stuck in that, even though I wanted to level up, of course. And then February of this year, I started, I got on a fitness sales offer. So I was taking lots of sales calls. It was a bit slow in the beginning, but at the peak, I was taking like 40, 50 calls a week in May. So I've probably taken like 500-600. I have no idea. I've probably taken like 500-600 calls, maybe 700-800 at this point. But yeah, the key thing was learning how to connect and learning how to show yourself, how to sell yourself in the interviewing process, developing like that resilience, that internal compass that, you are going to succeed, you are going to do the work, you are going to go through the discomfort, you are, gonna put yourself out there. You are gonna sell yourself to as someone who's reliable, as someone who's ambitious, as someone who's consistent, has a strong work ethic. And you can't just like say these things, right? Like you need to be these things in order to in order to be able to communicate that authentically, you need to actually be those things. So obviously that takes time to develop as well, and you know, life throws us lots of setbacks. But yeah, like I'm confident now that, whereas last year I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, like I couldn't land a fucking closing opportunity to save my life. Now I'm confident I could do it within 1 to 3 weeks, if I had to. So yeah, it's joining sales trainings, joining sales training communities. So I joined another community which was $200 a month, which is $200 a month, which was 200, and attending their sales trainings. So like we had group trainings, which weren't too busy, but there are lots of these types of like sales nowadays, which we didn't have a few years back. $200, $500 a month, and then you can jump on calls, you can jump in community, you can connect with some very successful people. Obviously, they're not just going to hand shit to you, but if you show up as a hard worker, a learner, someone who's willing to put in work, and they can see that over a period of time, it's going to open up doors eventually. Okay, and these might not be the best doors, but it's going to open up doors, which is going to give you access to be able to make money online. And then once you stay on that and you build skills, and obviously with the company that you're working with, you're going to have some trainings, you're going to be able to build more skills and build a track record, and then obviously utilize that. Like after my first engineering job, I didn't have many options. After my first engineering jobs, I was getting tons of interviews. After 2 engineering jobs, I was getting tons of, like I had more interviews than I wanted, right? So it's like getting experience with results, it opens doors, and once your skills improve, it opens doors. So yeah, if anyone's got any specific questions, again, I don't want to oversell myself as someone who knows everything or like a master, because I'm far from that. Like my best month has been 4.1k, and I'm consistently hitting around 3k now. So of course I don't want to oversell myself, but if anyone does have any questions, if anyone wants to know like who to connect with, how to connect with them, if anyone just wants some clarity, if anyone thinks high ticket closing is a scam, or if anyone thinks paying for a course is a scam, you're a fucking idiot. You need to invest in yourself. If anyone thinks paying for anything more than like $100 or $200 online is a waste of money, well, I guess you've got a broken mentality. So yeah, that's that. But if anyone has any questions, drop me a message. Ideally on Facebook. I check my message requests every 2 or 3 days. So just drop me a message, and I'll respond, and I'll do what I can to help you. So peace out, and hope you do make some money, because I know everyone's capable of learning sales. Everyone's like, these days, everyone's capable of finding remote work, even if that's not sales. Everyone's capable of finding remote work, and if they apply themselves and they persevere, and going out there and just working remotely and traveling and, you know, having that lifestyle. Easier said than done, but everyone can do it.